Stoten from My House to Yours. Welcome to this special edition of That Scoop Show, the pre-Productronica editions. I'm with Valentin Storz from Nano Dimension. Valentin, can we start with an introduction to you and a short introduction to Nano, and then we'll have a chat about our hopes and fears for next week's Productronica show.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much, Phil, for inviting me. I'm with Nano Dimension since almost 3 years, and before that I worked in the 3D printing area with Stratasys and MakerBot. Before that I worked in advisory, making companies bigger or smaller. I actually prefer to make companies bigger. That's way more fun. And at some point in my life, I fall in love with doing business with Israeli tech companies that are extremely innovative and agile. And this is how I came to Nano Dimension. And to talk about Nano Dimension in relation to the Productronica is interesting because Nano Dimension with the Dragonfly 2020 printer got the 2007 Productronica Innovation Award.
2017?
Yes, 2017. Yep. And this is where the whole story started. Meanwhile, Nano Dimension has sold over 65 of the Dragonfly systems. And actually, we are going to unveil our latest system, the Dragonfly 4, at this very Productronica show on Tuesday, the 16th of November, 10 o'clock CET. We're also streaming it for the people that cannot attend.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, so an exciting journey and quite a compressed journey over those 4 years. And you know, I agree with you. I'm on I have an advisory role for an Israeli startup company, and I've worked with various different Israeli companies over the years, like Orbitech and Valor and companies like that. Fascinating how there is that compression of innovation there, and supported well by venture capital, lots of opportunities there. So it's a real hotbed. It's a real interesting alternative to Silicon Valley and Europe. So I can see why you would get excited about that. Equally exciting, 3D printing and the opportunities 3D printing has in the manufacturing world. And we've seen lots of different things, but we haven't seen so much in electronics. What convinced you that additive manufacturing was the right process for the electronics industry?
Yeah, I mean the electronics industry it's a industry with high-tech machines, but PCB production is an old process, 70, 80 years old. You will know better than me. With a lot of assembly steps, with wet chemicals, etching, drilling, electroplating. You have a lot of waste you have to get rid of. And things like buried vias are not so easy to do. In our technology, additive manufacturing electronics, we build it up from the ground and we only put material where it's needed. So it's a much more efficient way of producing electronics. Plus, the ability to do things that are not possible, like any shape vias or any layer construction that you put on one place 50 layers and next to it 1 layer. So it opens a full new realm of new opportunities, and also a lot of new challenges, because the people have to design for this technology. And when you allow me a marketing message, we are also going to show our flight software. And the flight software allows you to combine Gerber layouting tools like Altium or Suken that we call eCut, to merge with MCut solutions, like, for example, SolidWorks or Inventor. Okay. That means you take your layout, you bring it over our flight plan software, and then you put it in a mechanical tool where you can create cavities or free-form shapes for electronics, and then you send it to the printer. Okay.
So the opportunity to have different dimensions than a purely flat PCB surface, and the opportunity to be able to create very complex builds. What about the economy? You know, you're talking about an industry that is probably ready for revolution, but hasn't seen one for decades. You know, I started my career designing printed circuit boards with red and blue tape and filter cameras and all that kind of stuff. So pre kind of CAD and direct imaging and all those things. So how do you change an industry that has not changed very rapidly?
First of all, by education. I believe like we are already seeing changes happening also from the demands of higher frequencies, higher packaging densities, unconventional shapes and form factors, even higher degree of high mix, low volume manufacturing. That is just happening. That is calling for different possibilities. Plus trends that are going into more green technologies, or protecting your IP by not sending it to Asia, by keeping it where it needs to be. So how do you change an industry? By education. We are going out to the Productronica and showing what we are doing. We are going out cooperating with leading universities and research centers to create the next generation of people that really will think in 3D electronics. And I think a key element of this is the ability to have existing tools, like 3D tools and ECAD tools, to merge and to use. So I could actually envision that in the future, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, or a bit more, that the electronics and mechanical design are starting to merge to some more that is a hardware design. So for example, imagine a drone in the size of a bee that is completely coming out of one of our future systems. And I don't know if you read it, we acquired SMTech and merged with SMTech, allowing the future potential of integrating pick and place and dispensing solutions together with 3D printing electronics to make real 3D electronics.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, I wanted to talk to you about the merger with SMTech, because I started this 2-week series of daily interviews on Productronica with Jörg. Fascinating guy. I've met him at many Productronicas from when I first started going decades ago. And to see a company that is innovative and an established brand merging with a company like yourselves, I think is really exciting and creates lots of new opportunities. How did you identify who was the right partner, and what's the strategy there?
Well, Nano Dimension started a serious M&A process, also with the help of investment bankers in the US and Europe, to look for companies in adjacent spaces. Nano Dimension has looked over 90 companies, from printed electronics, 3D printing electronics, also like, let's say SMT pieces. And with SMTech, I think it's a great fit because of the people. It's great people. It's a great culture. It's an innovation culture. They build high quality. I think also it will be a great mix, Swiss and Israeli culture. We will combine the best things of both cultures together. And I think also the product that they're having going into NPI and high mix, low volume is a very good fit also from the market approach, because we will go to the same customers. Yeah,
and I think that's fascinating. And let's just push forward to next week, Productronica. You'll be there. SMTech will be there. Will you be combining your booths? How are you tackling that?
Well, I think you probably cannot come, but
I won't be there, unfortunately.
We will do some videos. All happened last minute, so I don't want to spoil anything, but you will see the people on I will see, and I'm really looking forward to meet all the team of SMTech and to do more with them and to brainstorm new ideas for the future. Again, you should look at the video stream. Tuesday 16th, 10 o'clock CET, and sorry for the marketing.
No. Send me a link, Valentin, and we'll make sure we put that in the video description as well. So that will be great. No, I think it's really interesting to see the disruption happening in the industry, and I think you have a great opportunity, and I'm fascinated to see where that rolls out. What are your expectations of the show? You mentioned the launch 4 years ago, and then obviously 2019 was a good Productronica. The industry was flying high. We hadn't really heard more than just gossip about COVID-19, so we didn't have to worry about that. And now 2 years on, it's going to be quite a different show, isn't it?
Yeah, I think now the COVID numbers are going up in Germany. The show will happen. We expect less visitors due to stronger regulations and also the setup. But I also think the people want to meet again. They want to engage with trends in the industry. They want to see each other. So I think it will be even more a family event than the last ones, because the hardcore fans will be there for sure. So I expect more in-depth technical discussions and more in-depth conversations. And I hope we will have a great show. I mean, for us, Productronica always has been a key milestone to show something new. And now I'm really excited that we are coming out with the new products. We merge with SMTech, a company with great products. We also show our other acquisition, Fabrica, which is a machine for micro additive manufacturing of very small parts in the 1-2 micron accuracy space, and our AI group, DeepCube, which we are planning to implement in all the machines. So we're implementing AI for in the beginning open loop control to check if the printing process is good. In the future, closed loop control to optimize the yield and the quality and the performance of all our machines. And I can tell you, Nano Dimension will be this Productronica and the next Productronica, and there will be a lot to talk to.
Yeah, and it's exciting, isn't it? I mean, and I think it will be a different show, but I think what you're promoting and what you're talking about the show is going to excite people. You've got new products, you've got a new story with SMTech. You're ticking all those boxes with respect to Industry 4.0 and Smart Factory. The use of AI in the industry, I think, is just starting to find its feet and be really successful. And it is a time for disruption. We've talked extensively about the way supply chains are changing, perhaps getting shorter, more manufacturing in Europe, a bit of a European renaissance. And I think solutions like yours help that and help companies that are in high cost labor countries to somehow become competitive. So I think there's a good story, and it's a good opportunity for you. What do you see over the next 12 months? Do you think we feel like we're getting to the end of this hurdle that was COVID-19, but as you say, cases are rising again. Hopefully vaccination rates are going up fast enough to combat that. How do you see 2022 from an industry point of view and from a Nano Dimension point of view?
So I mean, it's always difficult to make predictions, in particular about the future. And we learned that we have been wrong with our prediction how COVID will develop. So we expected it to disappear much faster. I didn't expect personally that, like, now we are still dealing with rising cases of COVID. So we will have to live with it, and I think it's a new normal, and that would be my expectation for the industry in general, a new normal, 2022. But the mega trends and the overlaying trends will be much more important and driving into new directions. And for us, it's also a huge opportunity. As you mentioned, the potential to reshape supply chains, and also the potential to reshape electronics production is a great potential for Nano Dimension. So we have the setup in terms of cash. We have a experienced management team, also with people from the industry like Orbotech that came on board. So I'm sure that you will hear in the next year exciting news from Nano Dimension on what is happening.
Yeah, I think more and more. And you mentioned a few things that I think are really key for the industry going forward into 2022. You mentioned sustainability, the fact that additive manufacturing is native digital. I think that is a huge benefit for the sector. It's less wasteful. It's got so many things in its favor. So exciting times ahead.
I forgot to mention one important thing. We have the EMAE Academy in Productronica Hall A, where we have a lineup of speakers from research centers and our customers that will explain what they do with the technology. And we are also planning to stream those.
Okay.
So you can learn, for example, what the joint venture that we did with Hensoldt, James, is doing to educate the electronics industry on AME, or what other customers like Semicron are doing by redesigning boards to the AME features.
Okay, I think that's really exciting, and I think the education is a key part. Additive design is a different skill set, and there's a whole lot to learn there. Thank you for setting that up, and
thank you so much
for your time again. And look forward to chatting after the show.
Thank you. Bye bye.